and welcome to Visions. I'm Mirella Rich. Today our guest is Robert Turnbull, who's a biblical storyteller, and he also works at Monash Uni at the Christian Union. Welcome to the program.
Thanks, Mirella.
Now, Robert, can you tell us a little bit about your background, what you've been involved in over the years?
Sure. Well, I went to Monash in 2001 to do science. I studied maths and astronomy there for 3 years, and that was great. I loved that. And afterwards I was able to get a job in the maths department at uni, working as a research assistant. We were modelling our research team was modelling the Earth's crust and the interior of the Earth. It was fantastic to be part of the team there. Made some great friends, and the research we were doing is really exciting. Yeah, still keep up with those friendships now. Oh,
beautiful. Are you still doing any more with that research?
I do about half day a week, and I still meet up to play poker with those guys every week.
Oh, good on you.
I'm married to a beautiful woman named Simone. We've been married 3 years.
That's lovely.
Yeah, she's great, and we both work together at the Christian Union, doing a traineeship with the traineeship there, helping with the student group there run, that kind of thing.
Oh, beautiful. And you met through that, did you?
We met a few years earlier, through something called Beach Mission. So we're running a holiday program for kids in Queenscliff. So we became friends there.
Yeah. Oh, beautiful. And that's lovely that you say my beautiful wife.
Yeah, she's great.
So she can hear that. That's
yeah, hello.
So can you tell us about the spiritual side of your life?
Sure. When I would always say that I was a spiritual person when I was a little boy. But it wasn't really till I was in senior school. I met my best friend John. We've been best friends since then. He took me to the Christian group when I was at school, and that was great. There was music. I think I really went just to meet the girls who were there. But, the great thing about it was when they were all praying, it seemed like they really knew the person that they were talking to. Like I'd often prayed as a little kid, but that was something quite different. So I had to leave halfway through that. I sort of it was a bit teary.
Because it felt so real.
Yeah, that's right. And they had something that I didn't have, and something I really wanted.
Yeah.
So I kept on talking to my friend John. He took me to a Christian camp. I had lots of sort of questions and intellectual problems, I guess, with Christianity. Some of them got answered, some of them didn't. But at the camp, somebody suggested just to start reading the Bible for myself.
Yeah.
So I did, and I didn't stop.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
And what is the Christian Union at Monash University?
That's a student group at uni, run by students, but there's also staff who help get alongside the students, meet and do Bible studies with them, do training with the students, help the students to run Bible studies and give talks, and help the group continue and grow.
Right, and that's what you have to do there?
Yeah, that's right. So I've been doing that for almost 2 years.
Almost 2 years. And both you and your wife are doing the same course?
Yeah, it's great. We're both doing it together.
Oh, beautiful.
Which is really fun.
Yeah. And can you tell us a little bit more about your spiritual life? What makes you have a strong faith now?
I guess I'd call my spirituality a sort of a biblical spirituality, I guess. One of the really strong things, I think, in my life is being able to read the Bible and understand it, and the thing that gives me strength, I mean. And I guess I believe that you can hear God speak when you read His Word in the Bible, and you can hear His heart and see what He's done in history, and I guess that's what, and you can have a relationship with Him through that.
And what is biblical storytelling?
Biblical storytelling, it's it's hard to describe, especially if you haven't seen it, but really it's just telling stories from the Bible. So what we'll do is we'll get we'll get a story from the Bible and use that as a script, and then try to learn to enjoy the story, learn to love the story, be moved by the story, and then try to communicate that with other people in whatever way you can. So sometimes we act it out, or do whatever we can to help communicate what we've enjoyed about the story. Sometimes people call it dramatizing the Bible.
Right.
And that's correct, but what it doesn't quite describe the dynamic of biblical storytelling. because the Bible's filled with drama already. What we try to do is just in the way we tell the story, bring out the life and the drama that's already there.
And make it accessible for people today to understand it.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, that's the magic of it, I guess. If you can get that across, then you've done a good job. Yeah. And how did you get involved in this yourself?
It's sort of a roundabout way. I was at church once and I saw the cover of a video called St. John in Exile, I think. And I assumed that it was somebody who'd memorised John's Gospel and was performing it as a monologue. I thought, I didn't have any acting training or anything like that, but I thought, I can do that. I thought I'd do Mark's Gospel.
Yeah.
So I was telling this to my friend Simone, who I'd met. We weren't going out at this stage.
Yeah.
And she had another friend called Simon, and he was thinking of a very similar project, but he had the experience in acting and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So she introduced Simon to me and that kind of thing. We got talking, and then Simon sort of took the project on, and it became a project at La Trobe Student Theatre.
Yeah.
He got 12 people together to be storytellers, and we all told Mark's Gospel word for word for almost 2 hours. The production was two hours long.
Wow.
And we did it over 2 weeks in 2002.
Gosh.
And we were surprised at the reception that it got, both with Christians and also people who were hearing the story about Jesus from Mark's Gospel for the first time.
Wow.
It seemed like everyone was intrigued by this man and hearing the story from the Bible.
And there was a lot of response from it? Did you speak with people and ask what they thought of it afterwards?
Yeah, it was great. I was living on campus at the time, and I tried to invite lots of my friends who were living with me there, and they all came along, and it seemed like they loved it. Often people think they know who Jesus is, but often whenever you read about him or find out more about him, it's always surprising and always intriguing, and that can really come out in biblical storytelling.
That's beautiful. And through doing this, does it make you feel closer to God and Jesus in your own life?
One of the most profound moments for me in biblical storytelling was when I was living on campus, and I was reading a chapter in the Bible, and I wanted to understand it more. So I thought I'll go to the basement and I'll do storytelling of the passage. But there was nobody in the audience. It was just me in the basement, and it was an incredibly moving passage. And as I was trying to get in touch with the emotions and trying to tell it to the blank wall, I was incredibly moved by it. And that was probably the most profound moment in biblical storytelling, because it helps you connect with the people that were there. These people who are in these stories are real people.
Yeah.
Their emotions are real emotions. These experiences are real experiences. And it's such a tragedy when we've got these amazing stories about these people's lives and we don't connect with them. And that's what biblical storytelling tries to do. It helps you as a storyteller and others connect with the stories.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
About to go to a break now.
Sure.
You're watching Visions. Stay with us. We'll be back with more very shortly.